Todavía ando toda desconcentrada.
Hello, Raw Moms running on
coffee.
coffee. Woo! We've missed you guys.
We have, and we're actually live, right?
We are live.
We are live, and we're excited. It's our first time, so
it is our first time live. It feels like forever because we were not
It
here
has.
last week because it was Thanksgiving. Hope your Thanksgiving was great.
yes. And so excuses, we were kind of like
I know it's been weird. We literally just decided the topic like 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
But I think it's a
And
topic
we haven't
a lot
even
of
really
people can
talked
relate.
because
No.
I was out of town, holidays, and
I have my son's birthday coming up, and I am just consumed by that. And my mother-in-law arrives today from Mexico, so needless to say, it's been hectic,
yes.
like galore. But so we're gonna first of all, thank you for watching us. We really appreciate it, and we know our shows have been kind of long because we get super excited and
Yes.
carried away. But they will be shorter now, and we will
promise.
not
We're
surpass
trying.
15 minutes.
Yes.
That is your goal. No
Yes,
more than 15 minutes.
We're gonna try to do it 15
Yes.
minutes. If you were to sit here with us, we can talk forever. Like we can just and we go from one subject to the next. So we're gonna try to keep ourselves in track.
Yes.
That way, you can enjoy this whatever we're talking
and then we
about.
can do it shortly.
Yes.
So we're gonna start with our raw moments. Emma, what was your raw moment of the week?
Oh man, I'm gonna share the one I told you. So getting mad. My toddler, she's 3, so she's now into boundaries. If you have a toddler, you know what that is. So just she's now saying no. Like if I tell her do this and she's like no, like she looks right at me in the eye and she says no. So it's kind of hard, and we have a very strong bond. So having to get mad at her, and for the first time I had to put her on timeout. I had never had to put her on timeout. And just seeing her.
Which she's done really great. I've already done that thousands of times, and my son is much younger.
Well, her personality. She's very like calm, and usually I would tell her something and she's like, okay, mom. So, but lately, and I guess because we were with family, so, she was getting all the attention from everybody. And so she was like giving me this attitude, and I was like, I don't think so. She's not going to give me attitude. So I had to put, little girl, you don't run this house. So I had to put her on timeout, and just seeing her cry and just, just, it got to me, and I cried with her. She didn't see me cry, but after, everything was calm, and because she's like, I want to go with you, mom, and I want to hug you, and well, she didn't tell me, but she was asking for me, but I was trying to discipline, and it's very hard for me when you're trying to hug them, but then, okay, she's going to think that it's okay to do whatever she was doing. So that was just hard. It was really hard, just having to sit there and be like the straight face mom and tell her no, because sometimes, as Brene Brown book says, the parenting book, she's like, sometimes you have to be strict, and they're gonna be pushing your boundaries, which is healthy. It's healthy for them.
That's what kids do, right? That's their job. They're supposed to push boundaries, but we have a job
Be
too.
worried if they don't try to jump those boundaries, but then you have to stay on your place. Like you have to be stern, and that was very hard. It was really hard, and I cried after she went off to play because I'm like, I have to play.
I'm a terrible mother. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I
have to play like the mean part. I even texted my mom and I said thank you for all the things you did and for disciplining me, you and dad. I know it was, now I understand it was hard. Thank you for the person that I am now because of you, and I love you. So that was my raw moment, just having to sit there and discipline, and knowing that this is for the good thing, but just having to sit there with my feelings, knowing that that mom guilt.
I feel like mom guilt is just something that we all experience. Honestly, I've experienced that from day one. I mean, from day one I was pregnant. Not even when he was born. I already had it when I was pregnant. And I think for me was I was sick like for several days, and I never ever get sick, like ever. And I actually had a cold, and it was really, really bad, and sinuses, just allergies, and I'm gonna knows this. I'm big on like not just having him sit there and watch TV or YouTube, or I mean, he watches certain things, but there's a time limit, and it's just not. I'll engage him. I'd rather do other things, but not just give him the phone and do that. And for a couple of days in the morning, like as soon as we would wake up, I was like, I can't do this. Like, I just can't. And I would just give him the phone or put Netflix on, and like he would be there for like 1 hour. Sometimes one day it was 2.5 hours, and I had so much guilt.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, like what am I doing? You know, I felt so guilty for doing that because I felt like I was not doing my job as a mom and I was disconnecting from him. And I think a lot of that comes from my own stuff when I was a child and how I was neglected and I was just put like, oh, here's a TV,
Yeah,
here's your
that was your
babysitter, and here's your
babysitter.
food, your pacifier, and whatever. Like, you know, my mom suffered from depression, and so she would just get away. Um, and so I have a big fear of that, and I would feel like, oh my gosh, am I doing that? So there was so much guilt during that time, and I had to work through it and basically just accept the fact that I was sick and that I was just taking care of myself, and that it was okay, and that I was just gonna have to suck it up and feel the guilt if I needed to, but I needed to do what I needed to do to get through the day. And then once I could get myself going, then you know I would take away the computer or the phone and then just go about our day and get engaging him in other ways. But it was hard for me to have him just there watching the TV or the phone. But I also knew that I just couldn't leave him to run around because I couldn't get up and chase him. So that was was hard.
It was gonna be mom guilt either way.
Yeah, it was. It was gonna be
Because you weren't gonna be able to
more.
be present, and then so
Yeah, I was
that
not
mom
present.
guilt. Yeah.
So and that's our topic today, mom guilt. You
Mom
know, which I
guilt.
think it starts from the very first like
Oh yeah, since you become
moment.
a mom.
As soon as you see that line, you know, it's like, oh, I'm pregnant. Oh my gosh, am I eating correctly? I drank a Coke. Oh my gosh,
Did
and
they
it has
hear
Splenda.
that? I don't know any songs to sing to them.
Yes,
or,
yes. I'm not connecting with the baby. I had that a lot. I'm not bonding.
I had that too. Like,
I'm not bonding.
you know, when with my oldest, I would get sick a lot the first 3 months, and you know, for a moment, I'm like, why did I get pregnant? And I even said it out loud, and even my mom was like, don't say that.
Oh,
So
I
was
know.
like,
Moms make it the worst. At least for me. You
Yeah.
know, if I would be like, I hate being pregnant. Don't say that. God's
don't
gonna
say
punish
that.
you.
Yes. So I was like, you know, and so you get that mom guilt. Like, did I just say that I didn't
Oh
want to
yeah,
get pregnant?
from the first
Or did I
get-go.
just yes? So
I'm gonna kill my baby because I just said that I don't want to be pregnant, and so if he dies, it's my fault. I thought that the entire pregnancy because I was sick for 9 months, and I would
That's tough.
always say I hate being pregnant. And my therapist actually was the one that was like, "So you hate being pregnant? That doesn't mean you hate your baby." She was the
Exactly.
first person
Exactly.
to like make a difference in that, and I was like, well, yeah, of course not. I don't hate my baby. I just hate being pregnant. But I felt so guilty about hating being pregnant. You know, like I feel like motherhood for me was from the get-go was guilt.
it is.
It's like
you
guilt.
have mom guilt. You're right. Since the first moment you find out we're pregnant, and you know they say, the older the kid, bigger the problems. And I'm like, shit. So mom guilt, it's gonna be even bigger
Even
as they
bigger?
grow. It's like
I know.
no.
The struggle was real. I was like, I remember I gained 80 pounds while pregnant. And I remember thinking, I'm losing my body. And I remember I thought, this better be worth it. I remember thinking that this better be worth it. You know, like I'm losing my body that I've worked so hard for. This better be worth it. And then I would be like, I'm a terrible mother, and he's not even here yet. Shouldn't even be having a baby. And so
I had
things like that,
after. I
you
had
know?
that after because it's like you gain all the weight and then you're like, really like. If I wouldn't have gotten pregnant,
and you do think
get
those
that.
things, but I think
And
people don't say
I
them out
think-
loud. They're
Yeah,
like,
and I think mom guilt comes because of what people say. So usually, like if you think out loud and you say it to other people, they kind of be like, "Really? Like, did you just say that?"
oh, I'm
And
sure
I
we like
think-
right now what you just said. I'm sure we got a lot of virals like, oh, can't believe they thought that. Yeah, because people are like that, you know. They don't
They
want
are,
to
but-
accept that they think those things, or they push them aside, or maybe they
Yeah,
don't
it's
think
like
those
that
things.
doesn't
but
happen to me, or I don't think that way, or oh no,
I don't
no.
struggle as
I
a
don't-
mom. Oh my
yes.
gosh, how many times? Oh, everything is so great. I love doing this. I love doing that. They love doing everything. Everything they love when motherhood. Everything is like, oh, I just love it. I love it. They don't struggle ever.
And exactly, and when you see moms, at least speaking for me, when I see moms like that, I'm like, well, shit. Like I don't enjoy. Like I do a lot of the things for my daughter because I know she enjoys it, but I'm not enjoying it. And I'm like, ugh. And then I see moms that they're like, oh, this is like the greatest thing, and I'm like, man, I'm a bad mom because I don't enjoy this. But I think it comes a lot from that.
I honestly think it's because the expectations we put ourselves are pretty high, you know, and so we have
that plays a role too.
all that guilt, like we have high expectations of what we're gonna do for our children, and I think that's great, you know. And sometimes that guilt can sometimes kind of make us reevaluate things, and definitely push us to be better moms. But for the most part, I mean, guilt really there's nothing good that can come out of it for the most part, you know. And I say that guilt can sometimes make us check ourselves, and I think that's great. But then, you know, then that constant feeling that you're not enough, it just, how is that good for anyone?
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
And I think
especially for the kids, because I do think that they see it, you know, they feel whatever we're feeling. So we have, I know sometimes I go to bed with that mom guilt, and I'm like, I could have done enough, I could have done more. Like that's when it hits.
It's in the freaking like bed at night.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or
I wasn't present enough. I
them.
yelled too much. I did this.
Yeah, and I should have just been more present, and I should have, you know, she wanted to play with the Barbies. I mean, it was just 2 minutes. Why didn't I just play with the Barbies? And then morning comes, and your toddler's up, and they're like all over the place, and you're like, ah! And then again at night.
I feel like that's my thing. At night, I go, man, you know, I could have been more present, or I could have done this. And my biggest guilt with my son, honestly, is that I'm very like, in Spanish we say hablo golpeado. I mean, I don't sugarcoat things. I'm not like, oh, sweetie. I'm very like, hey, don't do that. And my child is a wild child. Like, he has a very wild spirit, and he doesn't stop, like, ever. And he does things he's not supposed to. Like, he kicked the dog the other day, and I was like, we do not kick the dog. We are gentle. And then I'm like, shit. Like, you know, I'm like, ah, because he doesn't listen on the first one or the second one or the third time. And then I'm like, I'm a horrible mom. Oh my gosh, like, I shouldn't have done that. And I have all this guilt. Because I'm just like, we don't do that, because I'm so passionate.
But you know what? I don't know why kids sometimes that's the only way they listen. Because I know with Amitita, I'm like, with my oldest, I'm like, honey, don't do that, blah blah. And she keeps on doing it, and I'm like, hey, stop doing it. I'm gonna, you know, you're gonna be grounded. And she's like, no mom, no mom, no mom. And she'll stop. And I tell my husband, like, why do I have to yell at her so she can listen? Because,
it's like they need that energy. They need you to be like, no.
Yes. And I read when I first had her, you know, we started to do all that research, and I read that they feed off your mood. So I'm like, okay. So then I have to like raise my voice so she knows, oh, mom's mad. This is serious. I need to stop. I'm like, really? Because I do get that mom guilt too of like having to yell at her. And my husband's like, that's the only way she listens.
I mean, because there's certain things it's just not okay to do. Like when he kicked the dog, I was like, that's not okay, dude. Like, it ain't cool. So like, I already told you no once and put you on.
Oh, honey,
it's
we don't
okay,
kick
right?
the dog.
Yeah. Oh, it's just so hard.
Be more gentle with kicking the dog.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
But the mom guilt is
But the mom guilt is there.
Like,
I know.
they're like, the mom guilt's like,
yes.
yeah, I'm
it's
here.
like it's like something that's like right there all the time. It's just there, like, and you're like, yes.
Are you listening to
me? Yes.
Like,
and I came in with the stupidest thing too. Oh, it's crazy.
And what I love though, it's my husband didn't get like dad guilt, I guess.
Oh, I know. Men don't get like the guilt. Oh, I have to go to work.
Yeah, no.
They don't get
I
that.
was all crying because I got mad at her. He comes, hugs me, gives me a kiss, and he's like, it's okay. He leaves, and I'm like,
it's all right, honey.
Well, I guess that's my balance to know that it is okay, I guess.
And I've talked with other moms exactly about that, and they're like, he doesn't get that guilt. And it's true, like dads don't have that guilt.
Don't get that.
We do. We live with it. That's why it's exhausting. That's why when anybody is like, oh, like when anybody tries to tell me that we as moms don't work that much, I'm like, let me tell you something. What happens here constantly will drive anybody crazy. Do not tell me the opposite.
Our brain is like this.
No, like this. It's like that little damn hamster who just doesn't stop running.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, not cool.
And especially at night. The brain's like, I didn't do this. I should have done that.
I could be a better mom. Could have sat and played. Did I play with him the 15 minutes I'm supposed to a day? Did I enjoy? Did I smile enough? Did I give him his 12 hugs that he's supposed to have to grow as a person?
Yeah, and then you have all this information bombarding you. Like, they're overstimulated. They're not stimulated anymore. And you do need to do, so, you know. Yes. And us, we like to be doing our research and reading. And so we're like,
so that research definitely.
I'm not doing this enough, or I'm doing too much of this. So that mom guilt creeps in.
Yes. So we hope that you relate to this. We know that there's many moms out there who are experiencing mom guilt. And we thank you for being present and watching the show. We hope that you take it one day at a time, and that you take your deep breaths. That's what's working for us, one day at a time, taking deep breaths and remembering that you're trying your best. Yes.
Exactly, that you are trying your best.
You're trying your best.
Every day.
And that's the best we can do sometimes. So it's okay.
Thank you for yes. It is okay.
It is okay. You're okay. And it's okay not to be okay all the time, because that's life. So, and let your kids know that it's okay.
It is okay for them to see that you're not perfect, because later they're going to be the adult and they're going to know, you know what? It's okay to not be perfect. I can love myself the way I am.
Yes. So perfection will only destroy them and you.
Yes.
So thank you for watching.
Cheers.
Cheers. We'll see you next week.
Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll talk to you later.
Happy December. It starts tomorrow.
Woo! Holidays.
Bye.